So now I'm taking a look at my kitchen and I'm asking, well, how am I going to lay this out? Well, I need a window in the kitchen, and the only place I see that I can put a kitchen window is right here. And that is not, to me, it's not satisfactory. But if I were going to lay it out this way, I would always try to put the kitchen sink in front of the window. But if I put it here, right here, that's just not a great functional location because I like to have more countertop on the opposite side of the sink. Okay, so if my sink is here, I want a bigger countertop. But I could also put the sink here, and then this particular sink wouldn't be in such a bad spot. I'm pretty sure I'll put the stove over here, upper cabinets here, upper cabinets here. I'll put the refrigerator or refrigerators here, and I'll have some more upper cabinets there. So I'm not really happy with the layout of the kitchen because I really want to put the sink by the window, but I don't want to extend my countertop any greater than that. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. So I'm going to make a change. And what I'm going to do, or what I'm thinking about doing, is I'll put in a pantry here and move all of my countertop like that. And this can stay, but I'll let it come down a little bit farther. And I'll move my island down to here. And then when I put the sink in, I'll have what looks like a more logical layout here, because then I'll have workspace on this side of the sink, and I'll have workspace on this side of the sink, which I like that better. So that means that I have to make a change. And what happened is that this space right here will simply get smaller. And remember, that was pretty large to begin with because I took this wall and I moved it back so that I could get more master bedroom space up there. So now if I take a look at what I have in my kitchen area here, I'm going to put in another wall. So I'll do the create similar, and I'll put a wall across here. And then I will dimension that. If I want to put shelves on both sides of the pantry, the shelves will be approximately a foot deep, and I need to walk in between the shelves. So that means I need a minimum of 3 feet walkway. And that would total 5 feet. So the minimum dimension that I could use from here to there would be 5 feet. So I'll simply change this to 5 feet. Now my pantry is in the right location, and I will grab this, holding the control key down. I'm going to grab this, and I'll simply move it. So I'm going to move it from where to where? From the face of this gypsum board to the face of this gypsum board. Now that looks good. I have this extrusion in here. That happens to be that line underneath that we drew as a guideline. So I'll just delete that. And I can grab that, and now I can drag this down to here. If I do that, then I might want a connection between the living room and here. So maybe I won't take that all the way down. So I'm going to highlight that, which is a guideline. I'm going to say select all instances in entire project. So now it's selected, select all instances visible. Oh, it's not letting me do that. Okay. So what I wanted to do was have Revit select all of these lines, and I was just going to delete them quickly, but now I'll just do it. These are our guidelines, remember, that I put in there. For some reason, Revit wasn't letting me delete those quickly. All right, so now this looks a little bit better. So let's start, see if we can put in a kitchen sink now. So we'll start to put in some of the appliances here. So insert, Well, let's see if we have it in the library first, in my component library. Do I have a kitchen sink in my component library? Let's scroll down through that. I have a vanity sink, so I might have a kitchen sink. Oh, I saw kitchen something. Kitchen sink double. All right, so I'll select that, and if I hit the space bar, it'll rotate it. And then I want to put it over here inside of there. All right, and there we go. I put the kitchen sink in. So let's take a look with the camera what I actually did there before we go any farther. Looks like the sink is there, but the sink is going through, or the countertop is going through the sink, which is not good. We'll have to cut that just like you would in a normal countertop situation. And let's see. Now I have plenty of room for that window, and I have plenty of room for a workspace on both sides. So I can move, if I click on that sink and use my down arrow, I can move that down as far as I want. So now's the time to kind of stop and think, well, what is the desired location of that sink? Well, if I say that I want that sink to be centered between here and here, then I can use my equal command, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now I have equal distance as far as the workspace on the side of the sink, and I have my window. So I like that. So I'm going to start with that. And then I'm going to, let's look for a, let's see what we have in the components still. All right, what do we have in our component library? I have an error message down here. What's it saying? Oh, because I unconstrained the equal, but it's asking me if I want to unconstrain the object that it was equalized, and I will do that. So now let's look at the component library and see what else I have in here. Do I have a stove? And I don't see one, which means I have to go to the main library, which is good because if you don't have that kitchen sink, then you'll do the same thing that I'm about to do. But we'll go over to Insert. We'll go over to Load a Family. I want to go to my Imperial library, which I believe Revit's, when it's installed, automatically puts that over here in your quick access column. So I click on that. And what am I looking for now? These are all of my Revit families. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for not plumbing, maybe mechanical. Let's see where else it might be. Casework, probably not. All right, so let's see what's in mechanical. And architectural, nope, that's definitely not it. So I'll scroll back up here and let's see what else we have. Well, plumbing, we already got the sink, so that's not probably going to be it. Let's see what else we have here. Profiles, railing, site, specialty equipment, maybe, domestic, high-end, and sure enough, there we go. I've got my high-end appliances now, and I'm looking for a range. So I'm going to pick this one. So looks like a nice Wolf range, very expensive. And where am I going to put that? Well, I'll flip it, and I'll just put it in there right now. Maybe right there. Okay. Hit escape, escape. Now let's use that equal dimension again and say I want that range to be centered. See how my dimension is snapping to the center of that. Maybe I want, I don't know exactly where that's going to be yet. So before I can do my, well, I'll do it anyway and change it later. Equal. So now escape, escape, click on that, delete it. Whoops, delete it. And it's asking me to unconstrain the object, which was this range. So now I have my sink and my range. I want to put some refrigerators over here. So I'll do the same thing again. Back to component. See if I have any refrigerators in my library already. I didn't notice any before, so I probably don't have any now. Okay, so then we go load a family. Now I'm looking for a refrigerator. This looks pretty good. I'll take this one. You're the architect, so you can pick whichever one you want. And now you can see, I hope you can see this, it's giving me some options here. So I'm going to take both of these, the left and the right, and say, okay, now those are both loaded into the family now. Flip, flip, flip by using the space key or the space bar. I'm going to put one here, and I want to put the opposite of that one next to it. I'll start by putting this guy in, and then when I click on it, I'll come over to the properties and say, no, I want that to be the right side. So I'll have both the left and the right side. Okay. So now I'm not real crazy about this text being there. So I'm going to click on that and see if in the properties I can turn off the text. Show label, uncheck it, and say, okay. It took my label away. So let's see if we can do the same thing with the other one. Edit the type, show label, nope, okay. And let's see if the range has that same feature. Whoops. What I just did was I opened up that family so I could modify the family, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to say no, I'm not saving anything. I'm just going to click on it once and see if it has a show label. There we go. And there are all kinds of other constraints and parameters that are involved here, but I just want to get rid of the label for now. So, okay, I've got my refrigerators in, my sink, and my range, my ovens and cooktops in there. So I like what I see so far. So I'm going to stop the tutorial now and allow you the opportunity to move this far forward, and then we'll come back and we'll cut some holes in our countertop for the sink, and we'll have to modify the countertop because right now the countertop, if I click on it, it actually goes all the way through the refrigerator, and it goes through the range, and of course it goes through the kitchen too. So the next tutorial will show how to modify our countertops so that we can really access the sink, because right now the sink doesn't have any opening in the countertop, so the sink is unfunctional. That countertop goes all the way through. Right now the countertop goes through the refrigerators, so that's not good. And of course the countertop goes through the cooktop, so that's not good. So we have to modify our countertops in the next tutorial in order to accommodate the appliances that we just put in.